matters. Let me see you move.
Love never felt so good. Can't I die if it ever could? Not like you. Oh.
Hi everybody and welcome aboard to Local Matters, where living local never felt so good. I'm Dottie Rimsey. You know, I want to ask you a question. How many of you knew exactly what you wanted to do when you were in the 8th grade? Speaking for myself, I was really unsure. Well, today, many 8th graders may also be unsure about their career choices too. And according to critics, students today cannot afford to wait until they're juniors or seniors to make career choices. And so several companies are now reaching out to 8th graders in a really big way. And we'll tell you which companies and when and how when we come back with more Local Matters. Hi everybody and welcome to Local Matters, where living local never felt so good. I'm Dottie Rimsey. You know, when I was in the 8th grade, I was really unsure about my career path. In fact, I don't even think I was really even thinking about my career with any real sense of seriousness. But according to recent analysis, 8th grade is just the right time to start grooming students in that way. They say waiting until high school is much too late. So joining me today on Local Matters to talk about the ways in which Eastman, the Calhoun County Chamber of Commerce, and Honda hope to wow students to their career destinations is Carol Kirk. She's here from Eastman, and Lisa Morales. She's here from the Calhoun County Chamber of Commerce. Welcome aboard, guys.
Hi. Good morning, Dottie.
To Local Matters, where living local never felt so darn good. All right. So, Carol, soon thousands of students will be converging down at the Oxford Civic Center this time next week sometime for a career fair. Tell me a little bit about this career fair. Is it just your standard basic career fair where they'll just go and sit and maybe listen to a few leaders in the community and get up and leave?
Far from it, Dottie. This is going to be a exciting career expo for Calhoun County. We're also going to have the Cleburne County 8th graders involved, and we'll also have the Munford Middle School 8th graders involved.
So we got Calhoun, let me just make sure, Calhoun County, all of their middle schools,
Yes.
Cleburne, all of theirs, and Munford.
Yes, and this does include public, private, and homeschool students. So we're expecting around 2,000 students that will come to the Oxford Civic Center on February the 24th and the 25th.
Wow.
And they will be going through the Eastman Worlds of Work. And it's a very interactive, hands-on career expo. Instead of just walking into a classroom where somebody's talking to them about engineering, they're going to really get to do hands-on activities in several different worlds.
Right.
When they first get there, they will actually, when the buses get there, they will actually have a Jacksonville State University athlete and an Alabama Power Service Organization member board their bus. And you know, we hear so much about how our students aren't prepared for work. We want them to be prepared for work, but we also want to talk to them about making sure that they don't make mistakes that they can't undo or something that may impact them in the future. So the JSU athletes are going to be talking to them about the importance of staying off drugs, the importance of keeping their driving record clean, because if you want to get a job in transportation, if you've got tickets or issues with your driving record, you're not going to get a job in transportation. So once they go through and they hear from the JSU athlete and the Alabama Power Service Organization member, they will get off the bus and then they'll go through different worlds. The worlds we have represented are going to be agriculture, automotive and manufacturing, communication, construction.
What I want to do is let me bring up our full screen, Jason. I wonder, because I want to take a look at these and make sure we've got and really emphasize our worlds, because that's how you're terming the companies of worlds. And so let's take a look at this. Go over those again if you don't mind.
It will be the agriculture, automotive and manufacturing, communication, construction, energy and utilities, engineering, healthcare, hospitality and tourism, public service, and transportation.
Okay, so I'm looking here at the transportation, it's the public service, we go back up. with EMA. That's what I was looking at. It's the Emergency Management Association. Yay for them. Jonathan Gaddy and Ashley Siskey. We've got engineering Chad Moore of Eastman, and then energy and utilities Steve Hildebrandt of Alabama Power. So these are some pretty heavy hitters.
They are, and those are what we're terming our world leaders.
Those are your world leaders.
Right. They have worked very hard to put together a great group of companies and people that will be there to provide this hands-on interactive career expo.
Now, one more thing. When you say interactive, okay, so help me to picture this. So they're not just going to be sitting there talking and listening. They're going to be actually doing something. So if Jonathan Gaddy's there, of course, with EMA, give me a scenario that they might be able to do something in an interactive way.
Well, they're actually going to be going through all the different equipment, and then there's going to be there'll be the K9 unit that will be there. They'll be able to interact with the dogs as they look for explosives and drugs.
Yeah.
And then there's of course being able to see each various types of equipment that are there. And then there will also have some competitive things going on, and I'll refer like maybe to construction.
Yeah, okay.
In construction, they're actually going to have a race to see who can put on their safety equipment.
Oh, okay, okay.
And they will talk to them about the importance of safety equipment. So it's not just, we're going to have a race and so who's the fastest.
Right.
But we want to talk to them about the importance of this.
Yes.
They will also be working on a block building, so they'll be able to handle the cement and the blocks. There's various things that will be happening in each one of the worlds. In the ag world, there will be simulators. There'll be a rain simulator, so they can be able to see how that comes about.
Okay.
There will actually be a simulator for milking a cow, so if they want to try their hand at milking a cow, they can do that.
Wow.
And there may be some live animals there as well, so they can get up close and personal with some of the chickens and goats and things of that nature.
But good for them, because that's just what, according to a recent analysis, as you mentioned, I think we talked about this maybe before we even came on set, about students just not being ready, because according to recent analysis, there are jobs out here, but our kids are just not prepared. They're not ready they're not trained. They don't have the certifications to even to apply for the job. So this is really going to be good. But what I wanted to do when we come back, because we're getting ready to go to break, what I want to do, Lisa, something of this magnitude. I mean, I can only imagine the time that you've had to invest in putting something like this together. I want to talk about that. The time and energy that it took to get all of these companies on board with this idea in terms of working with our youth here in the community. So we're going to go to break for right now, but we will be right back with more Local Matters. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Local Matters, where living local never felt so good. I'm Dottie Rimpsey, and I'm joined this morning with Carol Kirk. She's here from Eastman, and also Lisa Morales from the Calhoun County Chamber of Commerce. And we've been talking all morning long about this wonderful career expo that will be taking place in Oxford next week, the 24th and 25th of February, for 8th graders. And so we've been talking about the magnitude of this type of an event. It's not just a career fair where the students will come and just sit down and hear a few speakers and then get up and leave. It's going to be much more hands-on, much more interactive, but we're going to be talking about why 8th graders were chosen in the first place, why the focus on 8th graders. Some might say, isn't that a bit young for kids to still be sort of pressured into a career? So we're going to be talking about that. So welcome again, guys. Lisa Morales, I want to start with you. Thank you for coming aboard Local Matters. So yes, a lot of people may say 8th grade is so young for kids nowadays, and believe it or not, when we were coming up, I mean, I can't really speak for you guys, but I'm just assuming. I mean, for me, 8th grade, I had no clue about what I wanted to do in life. I knew my strengths, and I knew that I had some pretty good strong points. In fact, this is a surprise. Jason, I want you to zoom in on something for me. When this is even before 8th grade, I want to zoom in on something. I think I was about maybe in the 6th or 7th grade, and this is my very first certificate in school that I got. Okay, Chicago Public Schools, my little certificate. I was I was designated and chosen to be a reading tutor. Now, if you look at the date, guys, hey, yeah, I'm dating myself. June the 10th, 1974. Wow. So already in this, I think I was in the 6th grade then. Already, teachers recognized that I had a great ability for reading. I loved speaking in front of an audience. Even a kid, I loved standing in front of an audience and just talking and being noticed. So those were strong points for me. But I didn't know that. I mean, I went on through high school not realizing that those were strong points that really would shape my career. Believe it or not, I got to Jacksonville State University as a freshman. And when people asked me, what are you going to major in, Dottie? I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm still undecided. So Lisa, tell me, now it all makes sense to me, 8th graders.
So in the 9th grade, public schools, all public school students take a career assessment.
Okay.
So we really need these students to be exposed to some career options in the 8th grade, so when they take that assessment, it starts to make sense to them as well.
Exactly.
And they know what's out there, the options that are out there, both locally and across the country, because we want to keep the best and the brightest here in Calhoun County. But for those that choose to go somewhere else, there are options, for them as well. But they're making those decisions now. When I was in school, like you were talking about, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I think I changed my major 10 times. But we can't afford for students to not know what they want to do, because in high school they are making those career path choices, and we need them to be making smart choices.
And that is so true. And we don't want to, you don't want to scare kids, because again, when we were coming along, it was so laissez-faire. You just wait until you got into high school and decided, and if you think about it, that's a lot of time wasted. We now we are really fully into globalization with our economy, and so kids have to be so much more ready now than when we were coming along. I'm like you. At one time I was even going to be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, and it was even taking a whole bunch of dance classes, But you really have to be serious about it. And so with that being said, Carol, I want to loop back to you, because with that being said, is there opportunity going to be available for high school students to take part in something like this?
Yes, there will be. While we are focusing on the 8th graders for the majority of the time at the Career Expo, there will be a time for 11th and 12th graders to come through the Expo and get the same experiences as the 8th graders have had. And that will be on the 25th from 2:30 until 4. That's on Thursday. That's the last day of the Expo.
Okay.
And they can come through that afternoon. Of course, the 8th graders, the schools will provide their transportation, where the 11th and 12th graders will have to provide their own transportation.
Okay.
But they can come through. Their parents can come, because at this point, we think it's important that the parents be there to be able to work with the students, 11th and 12th graders, also being able to, talk with the companies that are represented. So that will be on the 25th from 2:30 to 4 at the Oxford Civic Center for the 11th and 12th graders.
So the 11th and 12th graders is just that one day.
Yes.
But the actual career fair is 2 days, isn't it?
2 days, yes.
So it starts for the 8th graders on the 24th.
Right.
And then one group, of course, because you can't get, of course, 2,000 students in on one day.
Right.
So the first group coming in on the 24th, and then on the 25th you'll see a second set of those 8th graders from around the county. And then the 25th, the juniors and seniors can opt to come in.
Yes.
Do they have to make any special arrangements? Should they be calling somebody, emailing somebody? What should they do for a junior, senior right now, listening and saying, I would love to go down and really participate and gain an opportunity to talk with some folks from Honda, from Eastman? What should they be doing?
There are no special arrangements for them to make. The school guidance counselors are getting the word out to all their juniors and seniors about the Career Expo. So as you know, they'll get the word through their school system. But if you're an 11th or 12th grader in Calhoun County or Cleveland County, they're welcome to come to on the 25th from 2:30 to 4.
Okay. Lisa, I want to loop back over to you, Lisa, because we see something of this magnitude again. You've been working along with all of the various different companies, in our county. And I know this is not the first time that the Calhoun County Chamber of Commerce has really hosted a career fair, but I think it's the first time of something of this magnitude. So I'm hearing we've got to go to break. So when we come back, I want to talk more about why you guys transitioned away from a career fair that you've had in the past to something like this. I want to talk about that whole transitional piece. So we'll be right back with more Local Matters. Don't go away. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Local Matters, where living local never felt so good. I'm Dottie Rimpsey, joined with Carol Kirk. She's here from Eastman, and Lisa Morales is here with us from the Calhoun County Chamber of Commerce. We've been talking all morning long about this wonderful career expo that it's coming up next week, February 24th, 25th, for 8th graders in several counties, well, in our county, Calhoun County, but reaching other cities as well. So before we went to break, we were talking about the Career Expo, the size of it, and this is the first time that the Calhoun County Chamber of Commerce has really put together something like this. And I was speaking with Lisa, before we went to break, and this is not the first time that you guys have hosted a Career Expo, but it is the first time that you decided to do something like this for 8th graders.
So we had an expo for a number of years here in Calhoun County, stopped it just for a variety of reasons. I joined the chamber about 2 years ago, and in conversations with Carol Kirk at Eastman, we knew that we wanted to bring back the 8th grade Career Expo because of the importance of education in our community. So Carol and I met with some other leadership from Eastman, talked about what we could do. And last year's expo, although we got great rave reviews from the schools and the students, we knew that we wanted something different this year. Last year was more of the rows of chairs and a facilitator at the front of the room.
The one that
and you were there on one of the days, Dottie, so thank you.
Yeah, right. And I had fun doing it, but it was your typical just go in and hear a person speak, and I actually enjoyed it, and the students say they enjoyed listening to me.
The students loved the experience, but students learn so differently now than they ever have. You know, they don't learn in rows of chairs in classrooms.
No, because so it's first of all, kids, you have to catch their attention, and I know because I also teach at JSU, and you have to keep their attention, because if you don't, they'll tend to want to look at their cell phones, and they're trying to text, and you have to grab it, and you only have a few minutes to keep it.
And so at the Eastman Worlds of Work presented by Honda Manufacturing of Alabama, we will be grabbing their attention with all the hands-on activity. We have over 70 career presenters throughout those 10 worlds that Carol was talking about earlier. So it's going to be something completely different and very exciting. But it's also exciting not just for the students that are going to participate, but also for the career presenters. They've gotten so excited about this event.
I'm sure they have, because it gives them an opportunity to get away from work and out of their same environment and really embrace future leaders. Maybe, future leaders. And speaking, because we know that Honda is really on board with you in a big way. Carol, so we know Honda, Calhoun County Chamber of Commerce, but Carol, there are many people in the community now. Even when I'm speaking to people, I will casually might say, I've been talking with XYZ from Eastman, and people go, Eastman, who are they? Help this educate just a few people who still may not know who Eastman is or what you guys do.
It is actually, we're located at 702 Clydesdale in Anniston, and it was formerly the Solutia plant, and about 2 years ago, Eastman Chemical bought out the Solutia plant. So we are part of Eastman now, and we do various types of fluids. One is called a Skydraw, and it's a heat transfer fluid that is like used for brakes in a jet, so that it keeps it from getting too hot. And then one of the others we have is on the heat transfer fluid is more of, like you've seen solar panels, that goes into a solar panel for the solar panel to operate. And then you'll see these cups around that are insulated.
Like styrofoam cups?
No, it's more like the water bottles and so forth that people have now that you actually drink, that you buy and refill. And not the disposable ones, but they actually have a fluid in them that makes sure that it keeps it hot or cold.
So a chemical base.
Yes.
Far beyond my thinking, because who would think when you pick up anything to drink, or sometimes when we touch, it takes certain chemicals, to make that particular object. But who's thinking like that?
Yes.
So these are just some of the things that Eastman generate.
Correct.
And particularly at the plant here in Anniston.
Correct.
So the home office is where, though, for
Eastman?
It's in
Kingsport, Tennessee.
In Kingsport, Tennessee.
Yes. And now Eastman is about a 13,000 employee company, so it's a big company.
So again, and I just, and so when the students arrive next week, and I will be coming down and of course checking in, but when they come to arrive. And again, they're in the 8th grade. They may not realize that this is really a once in a lifetime to get to meet folks from Honda and Eastman and all the other wonderful companies and worlds that are going to be out there working with them and interacting with them. And so here's the thing, Lisa, I wanted to go back to you right before we, sort of end this show, because something like this that you put together, and I know it's going to be great. Do you see it, this is a sort of as a prelude that it will happen again and again and again and again? We
look forward to continuing it and hopefully making it more regional based in the future, that we can include more students. We have interest from Clay County, Randolph County, Talladega County, the whole county. So I really want to include those students to provide them, additional resources, because at the end of the day, they're going to possibly work at some of our industries
of course
here in
they
Calhoun
will.
County.
And they're probably, when they see this and hear this, they maybe get jealous and go, wow, shoot, I wanted an opportunity to go and meet people from Honda too. Yeah.
And if they want to, they can come to the February 25th open session from 2:30 to 4:30. Along with the 11th and 12th grade, we have some from other school systems, coming to that open session on February 25th at the Oxford Civic Center.
So I want to bring that back up, that full screen back up one more time, Jason. And again, Carol, here we go, the 25th. So juniors and seniors, their counselors will let them know if they want to know more about it.
Correct.
To go,
yes.
That they could go.
On the 25th.
On the 25th.
Yes.
Okay. All right then. So you know what? I can't wait to get down there. I'm not sure if we have enough time to talk about maybe just quickly, Carol.
Just
zoom in.
This is a book that each student will get, and it will list every world will be listed here, and it will actually talk about the occupations, the education needed, and the average salary for those occupations.
So these students are already going to be learning about, if they have an idea, what the salary range will be.
Yes, and this will go home so the parents can see it and they can have conversations with the students about this.
I just want to thank you guys for doing something of this magnitude. Thank you so much for coming aboard Local Matters. I wish that something like this would have been there for me when I was in the 8th grade. Again, when I realized that I was a pretty good reader and I was great in front of in front of an audience, when it took me getting all the way to Jacksonville State University and I still had no clue about what I was going to major in. So, come out, support us, support Eastman, Calhoun County Chamber of Commerce, Honda. This is going to be an exciting week for them next week. And we hope that you'll come back and support us here at Local Matters, because it's all about you, because you matter. And we'll see you back next week. Bye now.